Good evening everyone. This is Enthusiastic Tutorial and today we are going to begin with the IELTS speaking session. As you all must be aware, and in case you are not, then let me introduce you with this IELTS speaking session, that after a brief introduction with your examiner, there are three parts, there are three sets in which you are being asked questions and you are being judged accordingly. The very first section is that of the warm-up questions, where 3 or 4 or maybe more questions can be asked to you. And then the part second is that of the cue card. You are given a cue card in which there is a topic which is given and you have to speak on that topic for 2 minutes. Along with the 2 minutes, you are also given 1 minute for making up your structure and building up your answer as well. After that, you have to speak on the topic for the 2 minutes. After that, then there is a third part, which is that of the follow-up questions. These follow-up questions are usually related to your cue cards, but sometimes ancillary questions are being also asked in this case. So today we are going to do a few of the questions we are going to take up, and the very first question which I am going to take is, where did you live when you were a child? In a flat or in a house? Now, if I am asked this question, I would say that when I was a child, I grew up in an individual house. I grew up in an individual house. A house like, which you are owning on your own. It is not located in any building or it is not even an apartment. So, I grew up in an individual home, right? And apart from that, in case a child or in case the student has been residing in a flat, he can always say that I lived or I grew up in a flat which was in a high-rise building of Mumbai city, or an individual house in Mumbai city, right? So, when sometimes it is not necessary that you are supposed to answer the questions in more than 10 or 20 words, it is not necessary. If the answer, if you seem it is that of one line, then you can answer in one line as well. All right. Secondly, we are going to take a question in which you are supposed to describe your dream house. So now everybody has their own ideas of the dream house. If I would say that my dream house should be a kind of a cottage, I would love to live in a cottage, and it should be surrounded with a beautiful garden. Even I would love to have a small cozy library in it with ample of books. All right, so this is my dream house. In case you are looking for something more, then you can always say that I would love to live in a big house, in a big mansion, in the busy part of the city. And I would want that it should be having 3 or 4 floors with separate basement for the parking of my luxurious cars. And it should be having a separate indoor pool, and so on and on, so you can make up your own dream house. All right, for me, I would love to live in a cottage, but then people have their own dreams, right? So you might love to live in a big mansion or a big bungalow. So you can mention the various types of the house where you would like to live. All right, next one, where do you prefer to live, city or countryside? So as I mentioned that I would love to live in a cottage, so for me, a countryside would be a better place to make a cottage, to build a cottage. All right. So in case, because if you had, so obviously here you can elaborate your answer. So I would love my cottage to be in countryside, because countryside is the perfect place to build one. It is quieter than the cities. It is not noisy, and we are close to the nature. And I am the person who loves living amongst the trees and gardens and fields. So I would love to live. I would love to have my cottage in the countryside. So in case the ones who are answering for the big mansions and the bungalows and big houses, or even the flats and the apartments, they can say that I would love to live in the city because I love the hustle bustle of the city. I love meeting people and I'm a kind of a social person. And in the city, we have plenty of work opportunities. I will be closer to my workplaces. So I would always love to live in a city. For me, countryside is a boring place. All right, I would only love to go in the countryside if I want to relax for a while. All right, so there can be different answers for different people, and I'm trying to answer as much as possible I can. I'm trying to answer different alternatives, right? Now the next one is, it is all about borrowing now. When did you last borrow a book? So I can say the last, I borrowed a book from a friend. It was a Dan Brown's book. The title of the book is Angels and Demons, and it's quite an interesting book because it was not easily available in the market. So I thought of borrowing one from my friend. All right. So you can even say that I borrowed a book from a library. It was a science book and I wanted it to make an assignment. So I borrowed it from my school library or from my city library. See, there are different alternatives you can answer, right? Now, do you think borrowing money is easy? Why or why not? I would say yes, that borrowing money is not easy for me. Firstly, because you always have the compulsion of returning back. It is obvious that if you have borrowed money, we have to return it. And then there's always a pressure in your mind that you have to return the money in time too. All right. So for me, borrowing is not easy. I would rather like that I should refrain from being extravagant and not borrow. Being extravagant means that you are overspending, right? So that is being extravagant. So I would rather like not being extravagant so that I can refrain from borrowing. All right. But then there are always alternatives. It is sometimes you might have to borrow money, but then I would always make sure that I return it in time. And if possible, in case I have an arrangement, some kind of loan arrangement, then I would make sure that I return the money with interest. All right. So there are different alternatives. However, yes, borrowing money is not easy. All right. So can you borrow materials from others easily? So this is a kind of a question which is reflecting on your personality. All right. So you can answer yes, it is. I usually borrow from my friends, but I make it a point to return those materials after I have used them or after I have, utilized them in any way. All right. But for some people, it is not easy to borrow. All right, because they don't feel it is right. So there are different answers. There can be different answers to this question. Can you borrow materials from others easily? No, I cannot borrow the materials from others easily. I do not think it will reflect good on my part. So I try to refrain from borrowing unless it is really necessary. All right. I would rather like to go and buy that thing in the market whenever I have money rather than borrowing it from somebody. Okay? All right. Next one. How about a phone? Have you ever borrowed a phone from someone? So if I'm supposed to answer this question, then I would say yes, sometimes like I am a kind of a forgetful person. So whenever I'm running on petty errands or if I'm going out for small petty errands, it usually happens that I forget my phone at my home. So in case I really feel an urge or a need to use my phone for some urgent purpose, then I might have borrowed it from somebody in the market or even from a stranger, but then I return it. So I've never borrowed a phone for a long time. I have always borrowed for making a certain call for some small purpose. All right. So these are the questions which can be asked in the speaking of the IELTS during the examination, and these are called as the warm-up questions, which are usually called as warm-up. Why? Because they usually get, just they start to the examiner starts to to indulge you into a conversation. So after that, usually the cue card follows, which is kind of a real examination, but then warm-up questions do make a part of your band. So you have to pay attention that what you are saying, and you are supposed to make sure that your answers should not be long enough in this. All right. So whenever you are practicing these kinds of questions, make sure that you're answering them within 10 to 15 or maybe maximum 20 seconds. And also make sure that you're speaking the relevant content, and also the grammatical errors should be less and less in these questions. So I hope that you are going to like this session, and if you do like, then do hit the like button, and I'll be coming up more and more with the cue cards and the follow-up questions as well. Thank you so much. This is Enthusiastic Tutorial. Please do follow the page and like the page on the Facebook, and also follow the account. Thank you.